While I'm sitting, I don't know whether to laugh or cry because I'm so excited.
It's a global, worldwide network of the work that reconnects.
Hello, Gaians. Hello, beautiful people.
It's incredible to be able to connect with people from all over the world.
I remember back in the early days, and I wanted to get people to share how they felt about our world.
Imagine for a moment what it would be like if you had a whole network of people that was saying to you, I can't be well if you're not well. Are you well?
It's a long time coming, and it is so necessary in these times.
Very thrilling for me. I have a heart full of gratitude.
Incline your attention to that which is nourishing. And yes, it's painful to feel its challenge and its loss and its grief, but it's also inviting to say, look, spring is here. Now autumn is here. Now colors are here. Now the frosts of winter here. That is beautiful. Pay attention, nourish yourself.
Even when the bombs are falling, the earth is always there, ready to embrace you in an unexpected place.
Every human being has this capacity to have a broad spectrum of ways of knowing beyond the intellect, right? Human beings have a capacity to cause the earth to thrive.
To do this work, you need trust. That trust opens you out. These are all the earth's children, and everyone wants to be part of a great healing, the adventure of this time.
Every single human being on this planet was born with great purpose. And every single being on this planet is sacred. That your body, your mind, your soul, your heart are all part of this very sacred apparatus that is able to connect to a wealth of ancestral, angelic, whatever you want to call it, an ocean of love.
Every member is thriving. Every member is experiencing omnibeneficence.
The very real reality of our interexistence and our interdependence. We begin to sense how closely, how intimately we are related to all that is, and how practically oneness manifests in our material day-to-day lives.
And there is a sense in which all of these things, the cloud, the confusion, the grief, the not knowing, the uncertainty, all of those ways that white modernity cannot resource the individual any longer, those are the cracks, those are the places we're becoming monstrous. And monstrous time is the invitation to other kinds of time, other kinds of temporality.
It becomes very clear how social justice, cultural justice, environmental justice, how they're all related.
People living in different cultural contexts have extremely different experiences of oppression, domination, and liberation. And that does mean that we have to take time, really be grounded in the range of identities of folks in the room so that you can do your best to be responsible.
So let us send love to all who are suffering. And let us move out of being right or wrong, either or. Let's move into and in both.
Look back to your childhood. What was going on there? Were you getting the love that you needed? Were you getting the support that you needed?
I understand if it's overwhelming, right? It's so big what we're facing.
Give yourself a break. Take some time to grieve.
These tears are the ones who melt the trauma, this collective trauma.
I'm deeply moved. We need these tears every day.
They can liberate us to continue blossoming.
And then they can become the tears that you shed when you're laughing so hard because you come home.
Of course they go together. If you're only in despair, in gloom and doom, then you're just adding more despair to the world.
This is our home. This grief is a doorway to our home and our true beings, just as laughter is.
When we go there and we free that energy, that trauma has collapsed in us in all those moments in which we have felt unable to deal with the overwhelming barrage of death and violence and destruction, and sometimes natural disasters, etc., then we freeze or we fight or we get numb in whatever way we can to protect ourselves.
We're spinning with grief right now.
Anytime I look and see something egregious happening to another human being, am I willing to have my heart broken and have compassion and put myself in their shoes? And if I can, then that's going to inform my work.
May it be that in the darkest hour we'll find our light.
Let me go back to the time when our love was intact. And so we can call on future generations. So I call on them, those who are already living the solutions to the problems we are having now. We are reaching out to you. Sing me to you.
Those things that sprout are invitational. There are places we can gather and create artistic enterprises of listening and falling together, right? There isn't something to do that is a project of the human, but there are spaces of doings that open up when we are, when we find ourselves in those cracks and openings. And that is my invitation to people. And what I mean when I say that times are urgent, let us slow down.
By really letting each piece be and live in our lives and giving ourselves to it, it naturally becomes the next. There is no stasis.
There's something alive in the inner life for me where I need to go be with the earth and with the birds and my inner life in order to show up to this earth and to hear their instructions and to hear their guidance and to move in integrity.
To allow them to actually move our life in the direction of how am I to serve the earth? How am I to serve my people? How am I to serve the future generation?
What does it mean to become earth in human form? This is what we are training for.
And there's no correct answer to the question of what is there for me to do, but really the question is, how do I learn how to surrender in such a way that the clear direction comes to me that is authentic and that I can trust?
Do something, engage with others. Doesn't matter if you fail, just get involved.
A gorgeous, amazing, beautiful, soul-nourishing 5 days, nearly 40 hours of programming. I couldn't have imagined such a beautiful response from the community to have spent this precious time with all of you.
Keeping on with the work and letting it open to do things I couldn't have expected or designed. The great adventure of the great turning.